What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful afternoon. I don't know why I look orange right now, but no doubt, I hope you're all doing well. I know I'm doing damn well. We have been waiting for some trade news. We know the Eagles would be buyers around the trade deadline, which is approaching. So, we talked about this last week. We talked about all of the potential suitors for the Eagles, and obviously edge rusher was one of the main concerns here. So, look, Robert Quinn was one of the names we brought up. So, let's go, baby. The Eagles add some depth to the room, so we're going to jump right into it. Appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. Any questions, any comments that you have, love to hear your thoughts on the trade. Let's get this bad boy started. So, Eagles trade for Robert Quinn at the age of 532. No, I'm just kidding. But look, we talked about this the other day. This is a rotational piece. This is not a guy you're bringing in to be the starter lined up across from Hassan Reddick. He is going to get his snaps just like Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham. So we're going to talk about all that. Let's go for a fourth round pick. So an A+ move, says Ryan, plus. Let's go. Love it. We've talked about adding to this room, and it didn't have to be a superstar. I know Brian Burns was a very attractive name, but that price tag, huge. So let's get into this. Let's talk about what is going on here. So the Eagles trade a fourth round pick for Robert Quinn. I believe it is next year's fourth round pick, but haven't got a definitive answer on that. So not going to say yet, but I will show you the updated picks then, all that great stuff. But I think it's a no-brainer. The guy's still got a lot left in the tank. We talked about it the other day. And obviously this year, maybe his stats aren't jumping off the chart at you, but as I said, he's playing for the Bears. They are atrocious. So put him on a team where he is a rotational piece and the guy could shine. So let's take a look at how he's been doing. Take a look at his money, all that great stuff. My man Plume in the building. You know it, dude. This is a guy, we had mentioned one of the top 5 guys I mentioned the other day because edge rusher was the number one need for the Eagles. People could talk about running backs and returners. You need to block for the returners. You could talk about safety. That's great. Edge rusher was the number one position to focus on, and the Eagles went ahead and did that. So, yes, another playmaker. Love to see it. We need to get pressure. We talk about, we're like 11th, 12th, or whatever in the league in the sacks. We had 9 sacks in one game against Carson Wentz. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. We needed this. Now, the other day when we talked about Robert Quinn, we talked about, okay, he's 32 years old, been in the game for 12 years, but he adds a veteran presence. This dude, he still has some left in the tank. But what worried us was, that 17.137 mil. But you heard me the other day mention, and as I always mention, you got to understand the cap, how money works before you lose your mind. And people were losing their minds. So, again, the Bears will be taking on most of that money, which is the case with a lot of these guys we talked about. The Eagles wouldn't have to take on all that. So let's take a look at an updated look at what it actually is costing the Eagles. So now in Eagles green, this man will cost the Eagles $7.822 million. Now, we talked about we would be able to trade for him because the Eagles have over $9.5 million in cap space. So we had the space. We have under $2 million now. But the thing is, next year there is an out for him. He costs like 14 mil against the cap next year, 13 the next year after that, I believe. So that's fine. You can restructure him. You could, cut him, whatever you want to do. There are ways out of that. And that is an option we talked about. So he is not costing us 17 mil. The Bears are taking on 10 million of that. So if Howie can restructure and do his magic there, then that's another W. So we look at his career stats here, as we talked about, in case you missed it the other day here. Let me, apparently wants to show us the same picture here, but here you see his career stats. This dude over 100 sacks. Now, I didn't get to update this with his added, I believe he had another tackle, quarterback hit, and a tackle for a loss. You will see here in a second, but you see that this dude has been killing it for 12 seasons now. So this being his 12th year, look, I'm not against this. I know a lot of people, oh, he's too old, this, that, the other thing, whatever they want to complain about. But this is what we talked about, a rotational piece. So in a second here, we're going to take a look at, what's going on with the Eagles here. But you see here, this guy, honestly, I think in his career, he has shown enough that, he can be given the credit where, oh, he's 32 years old. I don't give a damn, dude. We were talking about Jerry Hughes the other day, too. So I don't mind. If you guys remember in 2017, the Philadelphia Eagles actually won the effing Super Bowl. And I'll be real with you, Chris Long, Michael Bennett, not exactly in their prime. So was looking for this graphic. Apparently, I saved 74 of Robert Quinn's career stats instead of his stats from the other day. But you guys saw those the other day. We talked about his 2022 stats, and they weren't jumping off the page yet. I believe it was like, let me try to remember here, 8 tackles, 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits, 3 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. So I can't find the graphic here. I'm looking for it. Apparently, I saved all the other ones. I could go get you the Bears one, but you heard me say it. So you know it's true. Now, look, again, he's playing for the Bears. So if the stats aren't jumping off the page, I'm not exactly worried about that. I still think this guy adds to this rotation. That's what we need. Looks like Herschel has himself a little bit of a hot take today. So Herschel's saying Robert Quinn, he's going to end up helping this pass rush out. This Eagles team going to turn things around, going to end the season as a top 10 team in the pass rush. Love the hot take, Herschel. Thank you for that. Now, let's get into the updated edge rushers for the Philadelphia Eagles. We know Robert Quinn added to this room. Now, a lot of confusion before the season, still during the season, as to how the Eagles run a defense. So it's a multiple scheme defense, a lot of odd fronts, but you're going to have guys playing different roles. So we talk about the interior D linemen all the time: Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis. Then you talk about the Sam linebackers, who are essentially your edge rushers on the other side with a little bit different of a role. They got to cover some people sometimes, drop into coverage, all that great stuff. But that's obviously Patrick and Kyron Johnson backing up Hassan Reddick there. Now we have the edge rushers. These are your guys playing defensive end, that weak side linebacker as an outside linebacker in an odd front. So let's take a look at the guys. Considering Janarius Robinson was just placed on IR, we lost Derek Barnett a few weeks ago. The room was slim. So you've got Graham, you've got Sweat. Love that, 2-man rotation. Teron Jackson, hopeful for his future. But then you look at adding someone like Robert Quinn, and this room looks much better. So keep in mind, you're talking about Hassan Reddick on the other side, and then you've got whatever one of these three as a rotational piece coming at the quarterback. Brandon Graham, we know, is an anomaly. He can play inside in some of those odd fronts. So this is a great move. This truly helps the Eagles, a 4th-round pick that they are. Look, we talked about this during the trade special. I hope you guys caught that, saw all of the ammo the Eagles have from cap space to the draft picks in the future, the next 3 years. So go check that out, because there are still some options to be had. I really want Jabril Peppers. There are some other pieces we could talk about, but adding a safety that could help in the return game and an edge rusher were the top things to do. We got one of them in Robert Quinn. Now let's go get ourselves Jabril Peppers. If not, I still love where the team is at. We don't have to do it, but I'd love to see it. I'll be real with you. So pretty excited about this move. I called it, get a vet like Quinn, and then the draft with the same pick, you get a young edge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody called that, but man, we need an edge rusher. That's a definite need for the Philadelphia Eagles. A great pickup indeed, my man. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Look, here we go. Great defensive veteran. Yep, exactly. This is what we talked about last week. Robert Quinn adds that veteran leadership, but he adds to that rotation. Chris Long, Michael Bennett did it for the Eagles. This is a move you'll want to see. I'm all about it. Let's go. All about it. That's a move. I've been seeing the media bringing it up now. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's put it out there. Let's put it out there, baby. This lighting is getting, the sun is, I don't know what's going on out there. Still think we need a running back or receiver. I don't think we need either, but I would take somebody that could help in the return game, but I'd also take our guys blocking for our returners. Gearing up for a run. Oh, we've been gearing up, my man. And last year I was trying to get people on board with that idea. I think they all are starting to see that Howie Roseman meant business last year, and he's continued to show that throughout these last couple of years. Everybody will be an Eagles fan, just like I said last year. Here we go, baby. This is that start to a beautiful dynasty being built, and I'm sticking to my guns. That's what I see here. So love to see it. I will be back actually shortly, going to make the injury report, the initial injury report for both the Eagles and the Steelers, to keep you updated with everything you need to know for this game on Sunday, where the Eagles look to go 7-0, and Jalen Hurts looks to break the Eagles' regular season winning streak by a quarterback with 10 wins if he wins this game. That would be nuts. So getting excited about it. Hope you guys were able to check out Behind Enemy Lines yesterday. We got to know everything about the Steelers, what's going on with them right now. So hope that you guys enjoyed that show. I'll be back in a little bit with that injury report. Made the Bears pay. 4th round pick. Very low risk. If it doesn't work out, what a great. Yes, indeed. Exactly like Dante said here. And as I mentioned earlier, it's high risk, low reward, or low risk, high reward. I'm a drifter, dude. So I'll be real with you. When we talked about him, we talked about you could get a guy like him for a 4th, 5th rounder. And, this is a rotational piece. This is not a starter. So love it. I'm all about this move. All about this move. Don't need a corresponding move on the 53. Well, we may. We'll see here. We're also trying to bring back Tyree Jackson. The Eagles haven't posted what's going on here, so maybe someone's getting placed on IR. But, yeah, they'll make a move here. But once those details come out, I will give you all of those. And again, I think it's a next year's 4th round pick. But when I get the details, I'll give you that. I'll give you all the cap numbers, how we can restructure them, all that great stuff. We'll jump on top of it. But just wanted to talk about the initial trade, how excited I am, and what a great move it is for the Eagles. What's going on, my man Jadis? Hope you're doing well. Not sure on Quinn. Oh, that's unfortunate, my man. Great rotational piece. Love to see it. Just like in 2017 when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they made sure they had a rotation at edge rusher. That's what the Eagles go ahead and do today. Love to see it. Have an out next year. Just how he continues to show why he is the best GM in the game. You'll love to see it. Hope you're all having yourselves a great day. Let me know down below in the comments. Keep them coming. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear how you guys feel about this trade, whether you're not sure, like just mentioned, or you love the trade. Whatever it is, let me hear down below. Love to continue talking to birds, but I will be back in a little bit. We're talking the injury report for the Eagles and the Steelers, getting to know who's ready, who might not be ready. And a lot of people are scared about one thing, but stay tuned. We'll be talking about it here shortly. Appreciate each and every one of you taking the time. And until that next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!